Hey, everybody. We have some cool music to play with today. This is when we can do the pointing.
This is where we... No, this.
Here's Gavin. Gavin's our guest. Woo-hoo. Gavin. Go Gavin. Go Gavin. Our breath specialist, Aki. Where are my fingers? There they are. He's in the corner.
There we go.
Wait a second.
There we go.
So opposite. Gavin, are you not playing with us?
I'm still learning the pointing thing.
Oh, we've traumatized him already.
Holy cow. Gavin is hailing from Canada. We have two divine masculines in the house today.
The record.
There's a record.
Yes.
The ladies have not been outnumbered yet or matched.
I like those odds.
Everybody, welcome to the High Vibe Tribe, where we are live at 5. So right now, grab this post from Facebook, and would you go ahead and post it on your Facebook page? And if you have a group, you can post this in the group as well. I'm renewing mine. Mine is going through that turn thing, up and coming. We have some phenomenal things to bring to you today. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Mars is in retrograde. Just started 2 days ago, but listen up to find out what this means for you, what this entails, how you can create something different in your life, all based on Mars being in retrograde. We're going to pull out the stops for you on that for sure. Let me see, where are we? I'm on our, there we are. So cool. We're looking good, everybody. You guys look great.
Love your crown. It's very sparkly.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Very
yes.
sparkly.
So the crown is special in that it's not necessarily the queen's crown, although it could be.
It could be.
It's like the birthday crown.
Mm-hmm.
Better when it's
Birthday
slanted.
girl.
Yeah.
Slanted.
Yeah.
Woohoo! So glad you're all here with us. People are jumping on now. We are live. Yeah, Mars is in retrograde 1. Today is 9/11 Memorial. We are remembering 9/11 here in the U.S. Number 2. Number 3, we have our incredible, amazing guest, Gavin Ashley, with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
So glad to be here.
A medical intuitive. I don't think we've had a medical intuitive yet, have we, you guys?
we have not.
You think?
I don't think we have.
I don't think we have.
No.
I think, Gavin, you're the virgin. You're the
Nice.
High Vibe Tribe.
That's awesome.
You're going to be okay with that?
I'm so okay with that. Yeah.
So as long as there's no sacrifice, we're good.
Maybe.
Right? What a terrible thing to be.
Yeah, I don't mind going backwards.
No.
If you're joining us and you're in our chat, please, please, please give StreamYard permission to have your name and your picture up there to join us. So that way we can have more of you with us and we can see everything that you'll be sharing. So if you're joining us, pop in there, do a shout out, tell us where you're watching, where you're viewing us from, where you're hailing from. Let us know what the weather's like. Are you on the side of the country that is on fire, or are you on the side of the country that has the rain and the thunderstorms? Let us know what is happening where you are. Wow, this is really glistening, you guys. Like really sparkly. You know,
very
what
shiny.
I'm gonna have to wear. I'm gonna have to.
I was just gonna put on mine.
There you go.
See,
That's a
now,
really
I
good
can, now I
look.
can see myself.
Now we can see your screen.
I have my 2020 glasses. See, my
Oh my
vision is
goodness.
2020.
Oh,
Even with my
2020
glasses, my vision is 20.
2020 hindsight, 2020 foresight. 2020. And we're going to be talking about that today because 2020 is a 4, which is pretty interesting. Thank you, everyone, for giving us permission. So happy to see you here. Oh my goodness, kisses from Brazil. Holy cow.
Hey, Brazil.
Love Brazil. Canada, Brazil. Who else is going to drop and pop in? So this week also in the US, we had a very important holiday. I think you had that too, Gavin, right? Did you guys have a holiday also?
Oh, Labor Day, yeah.
Yeah. So we weren't the only ones who were non-laboring.
There you go.
The borders are still closed, but we're both unlaboring.
That's
I'm
right.
not even sure that's a word, but we'll just roll with it.
it is now.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you everyone for being here with us. Holy cow, what an amazing event, an amazing day that we have planned for all of you with us. And I just wanted to do like a quick shout out. So, Derek, tell us what is shaking and baking in your area, my friend?
It's baking in this area, Southern California. No shaking. We don't need any shaking on top of the baking right now, but a lot of crazy fires.
Did you get that? I did that purposely. Shaking, baking, California. You?
Yes.
Okay.
See what you did there. But yeah, it's been nuts. I think we're up to like 2 million acres burned right now, and that's significant. Last year wasn't even a fraction of that. So a lot of busy firefighters, a lot of heat, and a lot of forests that are going up right now. But we're staying inside. The air quality's crazier than it's been in like 30 or 40 years. So people are taking care of their breathing, telling everyone to change their filters in their air conditioning and run it on recycle. And we're just trying to take care of ourselves and hold our own here. So
yes,
this too shall pass.
Yes. Do you get a feel that you're safe, your place is safe? Or
I do. I think it's safe here, but it's everything here in Southern California is really close to a wildland interface. So everything is, could be cuckoo at any time. So we're careful but relatively safe right here. And we'll just keep those positive thoughts for this to resolve as quick as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. You keep us posted and let us know if we can contribute in any way. What if it was just like I was playing around with a conscious friend of mine, and he said, what if it's way easier than you think it is? And I'm like, well, what does that mean? And it was like a full stop for me. And he said, okay, like you're working on the fires. I said, yeah. I'm like, I'm putting them out. And he said, how are you doing that? I'm like, well, I'm like taking away their oxygen. I'm like throwing dirt down on them. I said, and spinning the dirt, laying it down to them. And then I play with water, with the weather. So I've dropped the water on it. He goes, yeah, what if it was like easier than that?
Wow.
It was a full step. I was like, because I got a yes. I got like everywhere I'm trying to like do something to have something. I'm like, oh, it's that program.
Oopsie.
Yeah. So what if it was just like an ask and you shall receive? I'm like, yep. So fire's out.
And that's the whole thing that I've come to realize too. And I've had this conversation in the last week is to put the intention out there, and you don't have to worry about the how necessarily, that it's going to resolve itself divinely. And we don't need to bother with the how. It's might be wasted effort. So we'll just say this ends and this is over, and we'll leave the rest of that up to some higher hands.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's like, and you know what was interesting, Derek, was I was scrolling back through my Facebook and the comments or the posts that I had put on Facebook, and unbelievable. I mean, it was a shocker to me. I was like, holy cow, like how powerful is that? I had said, because it was before I went on the radio show Into the Fire, and I said, what if it took one spark, right, to blaze the planet for all the darkness to be eliminated? And as I scroll back up, I'm like, then California, from where I had that posted, the date to where California got started was like almost very close to that date, put it that way. Like,
wow.
Yeah. So I was like,
Amazing.
Maybe check our wording.
Well, it's kind of a crazy theme too when you get down into the metaphor behind it. A lot of these forests haven't burned in 60, 80, 100 years, and there's like tinder and plants that are, naturally supposed to burn out every now and then to renew the forest, and it's actually healthy. Now, when people are starting fires, that's a different story. That's not natural, but the fire is very natural, and it's painful to watch, and it's heat and explosive and all of this just natural drama, but at the same time, it's all about renewal and restoration. And this could be metaphorical for a lot of the things we're just seeing right now. It's a lot of just old ways being burned and recycled and returned to Mother Earth for some greater things right now. So seeing it from as an allegory, as a metaphor, it can be beautiful.
Yeah. So like, what's right about it that we might not be getting? And that's what you're talking about. It's like, what if this is what's required right now? What if this is the planet that's cleansing itself because we've been trashing it a lot?
Sure.
What if humanity is like the largest virus on the planet? Like, no offense, COVID, but we got you beat.
Excellent competition.
Mayuka, hello, beautiful from Brazil. Thank you for giving Facebook permission. Yeah, right. Like, what if like Mother Earth is like, okay, humans, you think you're all that in a bag of chips?
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
I got you. You know what I mean? It's just the fact that we don't have polarity with it, like on one side or the other. Hello, Dushanka, lovely fellow Canadian with you, Gavin, in the house.
It's awesome.
Yes, she and I are going to the castles this weekend.
Oh, nice.
Yes. She said, I said, my bags are packed. I said, how are you going to sneak me over the border? She says, I'll FaceTime you from there. I was like, hey, wait, I'm working on this transmigration thing. I'm like, I may have it down by then. I'll meet you there. So how fun is that? Tammy White, hello, beautiful. Hello. Tammy's husband, Bobby White, you have a fundraiser that's taking place for he had committed suicide. Tammy was a guest on our show. So Tammy, I know you posted it once, honey, in there. We approved it. Would you go ahead and post it in the comments right now here, because this show goes out. We have over 500,000 members from mutual partnering groups that will get a chance to see that. We'd love to do that for you. So thank you for being here. Oh my goodness. Ashni, our breath specialist and meditation artist.
Not in that space at all. Not in that space at all. Not today. Not. I mean, I tried my best to come back to it a few minutes before starting here, but yeah. When
it was interesting, Ashni and I, we live 7 minutes away from each other. Ashni is the producer of the global TV series Unlocking Your Limitless Life. And so do you see the shadow behind her? It's so funny. So it's thundering.
It follows me.
Wherever you go.
I think there was a song about that. Yeah, now I hear you guys in stereo. Woohoo!
Oh, surround sound.
Yes, if you haven't done this, way cool. It's a whole new elevation of intensity when you're here, my friend, versus just having a show pretty. Yeah, so it's thundering and lightning here and raining really hard. And so Ashley's like, I'm just going to close my shades. I'm just not going to participate in the thunderstorm. Like, I'm shutting it down. I'm not having it. So instead, she has a little shadow today.
Yep.
Little shadow behind you. Cool. Thank you so much, Tammy. Tammy put her link up there. The Art of Hope. Love it. Beautiful. Mwah. Best wishes to you and to this fundraiser that you guys have going on. Incredible. And you know what? Tell us, is it just the United States or can people from other countries participate in it? Because that may be a huge bonus as well. So, yeah. So, you know, we have a couple, you know, new members. I guess we could just sort of lay it out there like that. Like just a couple people chose this week to play in the High Vibe Tribe. And I think it could be a new record with us. We ended up with 88 new members this week. So woohoo! Shout out to the High Vibe Tribe. Like all of you are having it. You are all inviting your friends, family, coworkers, partners in crime, fellow consciousness revolutionaries, and yeah, having a different possibility. So thank you. You know, 8, you know, my birthday was September 8th. 8 is great. 8 is a great number. It's a magical number. It's the number of infinity and money and abundance. So how cool are you to be choosing that? And Janie is our galactic code activator, which is pretty cool. She has infinite intelligent awareness.
Not today. Not in that space today. No. I'm going to copy Ashley on that one.
Not today.
Okay.
Not
Friday,
today.
You guys are fired.
Halfway through the show, we'll be back and we'll have like our issue and we'll be like, yes.
Yeah, here we are.
Hey, goodbye. Na, 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 na. Remember that 80s song?
Yep.
Goodbye. So as we say goodbye to Janie as she's leaving her body and the Galactic Codes, let's have her welcome all of our brand new members.
Let's do that instead.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
So we have something pretty cool and fun this time. Are you ready?
Yeah, you know, we should say Priscilla is not here with us. Priscilla is our pronunciation party person. Yes, and she just has a very fluent, incredible way of pronouncing people's names, and they just sound elegant and royal.
And she has the accent to go with it. She just like, and it's like, oh, yeah.
From South Africa, and you know, like we just couldn't do it justice. So I threw the ball over in Janie's court, and Janie has outdone herself. So all of you, listen up, listen for your name. Janie's gonna let it rip.
Okay, letting it rip.
Welcome, new members! Woohoo!
Natasha Robinson, Sonia Painter, Stephen John Beecham 3, Ruth Holt, Kishal Koffel, Claire Merriweather, Anita Davenport, Karen Goodson, Carl Roberts, Kulwant Sathi, Julie Whitehouse Ortega, Mindy Hammond, Sabu Mia, Brenda Morrison Webb, Jean Foster, Steve Williams, Barbara Osborne, Amanda Martin, Angel Chiari, Saloshni Reddy, Jay Thomas, Nikhil Paramanand, Sue Taggart, Gloria Lambert, Nicole Valentine, Thomas Janik, Karen Fisher, Debbie Campbell, Kevin Barrett, Lydia Fowler, Mel Eves, Nancy Cooper, Melissa Kennedy, Laurel Ann Brown, Joanna Wooden, Susan Tapper, Sarah Lou, Lynn Mason, Jane Randall, Fiona Van Rensburg, Lucas Adekunal, Elizabeth Archibald, Nikki Jane Money, Donna Roberts, Nor Al, Judy Amon, Shanna Ong, Pippa Crompton Summerskill, Luis Esquedas, Nicole Lehana, Hazel Williams, Nathaniel Gates, Tony Fowler, Lashono Pusey, Yashira Torres, Ines Cockle J, Arjuna Rukmini Dobar, and Vanessa Pillay *Espirit Madonna, Melissa Anastasia, Lisa Maloney, Deborah George, Jackie Land Keaveney, Carrie Ann, Sandeep Susie Sahota, Mark Elliott, Nicoletta Crastus, Jason Sims, Annette Searle, Maureen Fullerin, Ursula Fenton, Shaz Aspinall, Helen Berman, Verma Sundeep, Shahiraz Walji, Victoria Jane Atkins, Fraser B. Croft, Amanda Price, Janie Allison, David Murphy Bonner, Janie Allison, Tina L. Crook, Awayemi Oladen, Kevin Crook, Leslie Rigby, Mary Jane Card, and Adele Wint.
Dun, 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 dun,
Amazing.
Do you like how I just pronounced those and I had changed my voice and everything? It was just like magic.
That was awesome. That really came through. That's beautiful. No stuttering, no ums, no nothing.
No mispronunciations.
No.
I even got the punctuation in there. Asterisk. I'm waiting for your chair to spin around.
How about no?
Janie, outstanding. You totally outdid yourself. That was incredible. And I think that truly was an honor. Because 88 people would have taken us probably 88 minutes.
That was a very efficient way to do it.
That was awesome. 88 people.
Yeah.
Woo. Big breath, right?
Yeah.
Double eight. 8.
Yeah. Double the abundance.
Yes.
Yep.
Having it. So Janie, you have an announcement because we reached 500 members.
Yes.
Also, what is special about reaching 500?
Special about reaching 500 is 10:10 at 10 a.m. Movie morning instead of movie night.
Yeah, member appreciation. Woohoo!
Yes.
So were you on the one we just did last month, acknowledged or unacknowledged with Stephen Greer?
That was awesome.
Wasn't that incredible?
I have watched that, but I haven't. I was going to go back and watch it again because it's been about a year or so.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. So Kara, she is our virtual assistant. She is with family this weekend. So have fun, Kara. Loving you, my beautiful friend. What we're going to do is set up a survey for all of you to choose your next movie. And then on October 10th at 10 a.m., 10, we will all get together. And we picked that time at 10 a.m. because the whole world can participate. If we were doing it at 7 p.m. our time, and then 3/4 of the world was not available during that time. So if it's 10 a.m. for us here in the Eastern part of the world, Eastern time, then everybody else in the world can participate. So that was one of our top goals. So thank you to all of you. Welcome. Thank you.
The High Vibe Tribe is global.
Yes.
We are
everywhere.
We are everywhere, aren't we?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I love it. So Gavin, welcome.
So glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
You are so welcome. Our amazing medical intuitive partner in consciousness in Canada. How are you doing today?
Oh, it's awesome. It's much colder over here in this part of the world. It started to cool off already. So, but yeah, that's what it is. What it is,
Yeah, is that a hoodie you have on?
No, it's a shirt. No, no,
Oh, okay.
not sport.
Not that cold yet.
Well, that'll be soon. Yeah, exactly. Have some kind of sweater action going on.
Yeah.
Gavin, if you say cold, how cold is it now?
It's Celsius, so you have to do the conversion. But this morning it was 12 Celsius.
Oh.
So yeah, whatever that is in Fahrenheit.
Like around
something.
60 or something. Hey, Google.
Yeah, exactly.
Alexa.
You know what I was thinking about today was it was interesting because, like a lot of lots of parts of the world and Canada, they're publicizing, daily cases for COVID, right? So, we're seeing an uptake, right? So I was thinking about this today and I thought, okay, everybody, well, I shouldn't say everybody, but there's a lot of people have been saying about second wave, right? And I was thinking, what if this is just like a thought form that got created from this idea, and they have their proof and their validation, from other pandemics, but it's almost like it's like following such a predictable pattern, right? That I was thinking, yeah, we keep putting this information out there about second waves, and then we start seeing more cases. And is it the virus, or is it the thought form that's creating the virus, or making it worse, that kind of thing? So that was just kind of my musings of the day, and really trying to help people understand about how our thoughts, are really creating, this different reality. And it was interesting. I've had maybe about 15 clients who have contracted COVID, right? In every case, when I look in the subconscious, it's basically they have a fear that they're going to get it, so they're bringing it in, So I just thought that was a good, interesting point for everybody to kind of keep in mind, that, maybe, I guess there's different degrees of fear that somebody could have. But, in the cases I saw, it was like an extreme fear. And I think the media, has really kind of pumped that up a lot. So I don't blame people for taking that on, but just really being mindful of our thoughts and, what we are thinking collectively, here in Canada is kind of like, this is the direction they think we are going, and it's happening. So.
Yes. Yes. So someone's going to call you out on it.
53. Oh, nice.
So that is thermal underwear time. That is not t-shirt time for us.
Well, we do have heaters.
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 Holy cow. Oh my goodness. Well, this is going to lead right into telling everybody a little bit about you, Gavin. So Laurel Brown shared, she's a member of our tribe, and she shared something from Tania Gabrielle, who runs the Love Has Won, WON.org. So she's telling us that Mars is in retrograde, and it started 9/9 2 days ago, and it's actually liberating the sacred masculine. So hello, men.
Hello.
Liberation for you guys. How are you feeling, right? Like, what would that look like? Good answer.
What would that look like?
Right? Like, liberating the sacred masculine. It's like,
well, that's a good thing you say, is what would it look like? And so many people don't know what liberated divine masculine looks like, or even liberated divine feminine for that matter. We have these takes on what it is to be masculine or feminine, but not the divine aspects of that. And my own personal experience, and everyone's mileage may vary, is that divine masculine is patient and kind, and it's a warrior ethos without weapons or aggression. It's a beautiful thing, and it's so rare these days that it's often not recognized. But to see that it is being liberated, and in the conscious community there are more and more men showing up, where before it was just very, very few. To see that growing right now is very encouraging, that men are stepping up to do that shadow work involved in shedding that egoic false masculine, that shell of just untruth and distortion, to find that inner awareness that men are beings of love just like everybody else, that they can clear their distortions, that they can be that anchor of support to nurture divine feminine, and they require each other, they dance together, they interplay. And to see that liberation as something that's happening, it's just so reassuring right now, and sorely needed.
Yeah, absolutely. And she writes that Mars is the recalibration from aggression to assertion. for the divine masculine, and from control to contribution. So how pretty amazing, incredible is that for you guys?
It's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
exciting.
It's awesome for you guys too. The feminine desperately needs a divine masculine.
No, not only that. See, we also don't sometimes forget that in an individual you have male qualities and female qualities. So even with women, this new wave is going to also unlock. I say unlock, maybe not the right word, but that's what's coming to my mind. To that side will come out, like a little more manly. But in a divine way. So while you were talking, Derek, I actually got like walk like a king. You can walk like a king and be a perfect servant. And a servant doesn't mean someone who's cleaning the toilets or something. Who are we serving? In this realm where we are, who are we serving? What are we serving?
The women? Do I get an amen?
Just be at service. Be at service. And it can be service in the broad spectrum. And she's laughing because she's going into it, like serving. Or it can be serving, like that divine that is part of all of us and makes all those nice qualities come out. So be a servant in that sense. Be kind, be loving, be caring. In the meantime, don't have people walk over you. Don't give up on, like, okay, I heard I have to be a servant, so I should. Do not sacrifice yourself. That's not what I'm saying. But stand in your power. Walk like a king or a queen and be the perfect servant.
And that's part of why this whole high vibe tribe has been so appealing to me, is that it is what I consider service, and we're serving to raise conscious awareness. We're serving to share love, to eliminate distortion, to find truth together. And that is true service. We're spiritually all in this together. And the whole concept of individuality starts to get blown out the window. And even Gavin was talking about the whole collective consciousness aspect of things. We're linked in this wonderful weaved pattern of divine webbing that it's a tapestry of love, and we are one thing. We're individual waves, but the ocean is doing the waves. That's the awesomeness of this and why we should serve.
Yeah, absolutely. And Gavin, I'm just going to speak and tell everybody a little bit about you, because I know that you have some interesting awarenesses with this. So Gavin is a medical intuitive coach. I'm going to read right off his page, just in case you're wondering. Using my gifts as an intuitive life coach, I retrieve information from the brain about the body or the mind, the mental and the physical issues. This could be compared to scanning a computer for viruses and getting a report of what is happening with your system. Imagine being able to clear any limiting beliefs within minutes. Pretty incredible, huh?
Well said.
So this is an in-depth approach to true healing and is very advanced due to the fact that you are going directly to the source of the issue by asking the body to tell him the underlying causes that are particular to a health issue or a mental issue. Think of it as a biofeedback machine, and that he receives information back from the body via the brain, and this information can be used to solve any health issue or mental disturbances. Please welcome Gavin Ashley. Woohoo! Welcome, my friend. All I had to do was read it. My job's over. No, I'm just kidding. So really, tell us about this divine masculine that you know about, Gavin, and how does this play into what the work that you do?
Well, I think, when I do talk to guys, not as many, I would like to be meeting, but there's more and more men, being open to this work, and they're realizing that it's okay to talk about their feelings. It's okay to, they don't have to push things down anymore. I mean, that's kind of how we were brought up, not to, necessarily be emotional creatures, right? So one of the things that people have to really keep in mind is that when you don't talk about your feelings or what's really going on, this is where it gets trapped in the body. And this is where you start having, different health issues, right? So, the brain, as you so well read my bio there, it shows that the brain can tell us what's really going on. So, for example, men have a lot of issues with, like heart disease, for example, right? So when you look at the heart, we see that can be a place of hurt, pain, from past relationships or many things, family related. And if they're not talking about it and releasing that, it's going to show up in the physical eventually, right? So some of this is like kind of preventative. I call it preventative maintenance. If we want to release this ahead of time, because it's going to show up. Sometimes it takes years to manifest in the body, right? But the body, is going to send us a message. It's going to tell us, what's happening, what's going on, and that message is going to be very strong in some cases, right? Are we listening? But I think the biggest disconnect that I see is people are thinking that the body and the emotions are separate. So that's what I'm really here to teach people. It's all the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very interconnected.
So what have you found, and if any of our guests that are watching, you guys too, that are here, if you have any questions for Gavin, like absolutely pop them in. So Gavin, if people have like a physical symptom, because is that normally how they become aware of it, is through a physical symptom, and then that tracks back to the emotional, the charge, the incident, the circumstance, the experience?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So the only exception to that rule might be like if you're in an accident or, some kind of incident like that, right? Where you could actually have, something happen to you physically. But, outside of that, normally, I would say 99% of the time it's going to be emotions, are going to be showing up, right? So it's really about just listening to the body, and hearing what it has to say, because it's going to tell you something, and it's going to tell you, like I said, sometimes really strongly. What is going on, right?
So bodies are screaming at you
all the time, all day long.
How do you live your life with that information?
Well, I did have to do some modifications to my intuition so that it wasn't coming at me, 24/7. So if I'm walking down the street, I'm not, feeding off everybody's information, right? Yeah. If somebody asked me a direct question, I would get a direct feedback from that. Yeah. But it would only be in those situations, so.
Yeah.
And you really have to do that because, it would be overwhelming,
Yes, absolutely. Right. Too much information coming in too fast, too quick, lightning speed. And then because that happened to me yesterday, like my neurological system was like, what would you call it, Ashni? It was inflamed or
fried?
Fried. Yeah, my systems were all fried. It was like TMI, too much information that was coming in to me. Like everything was speaking to me, like everything. And it was happening all at the same time. And it was this like I was shaking, my teeth were chattering and I wasn't cold. It was like way, way a lot of information. And Nick and I, after we had that's my son, we went to this restaurant and we sat down and, because of the COVID thing, like you have to be like so far apart. And she said, okay, go ahead over there. And I went right to the window, Nick. We're right to the window so we could only have people on one side of us, right? And we were in the corner. So there was only one side for people, to be honest. And then 500 people showed up to eat, to pick up food. Uber was coming to deliver the food. And he could see, he goes, Mom, what's your problem? Very sympathetic child. Mom, what's your problem? I'm like, Nick, I have too much information coming in like all at the same time. Like it was just like, something happened with like the I don't know, what do you call it, Ashley? Like a barrier or a wall or like a filter. So like somehow my filters got ripped off. So I don't know.
Yeah.
What happened, but
you just let all your stuff down. So it was just like pouring in. It was just like, and this 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 more and this more and like,
modern medicine has ways that they'll address stuff like that, and it kind of baffles me where, supposedly at this greatest state we've ever been as far as medical technology and pharmaceuticals go, and it all seems to treat symptoms. And when you really get into the core healing that needs to be done, there's very little to be said from modern medicine in terms of curing on the levels we need to be curing on. And it's not just a physical thing. Usually, just like Gavin said, you could have accidents and things like that we respond to. But when you realize that we are vibrational beings and that our spirit is linked to our body, is linked to our mind, where the healing needs to happen is on this deeper level in addressing these traumas and pains and things that we keep bottled up throughout our entire lives to manifest later. There's not really an answer for in modern medicine. Although, I do see some hopeful things. Some hospitals are bringing breath work and yoga practice in. And that's kind of a new thing where they're actually saying there might be more to this than just the body. I just don't know if they understand how deep it really goes, that they're touching on some amazing things where some big time advances could possibly be made.
Yeah, for sure. Gavin, you specialize in like anxiety, depression. What can you speak about that? Because so much of the world is really, has that as part of their normalcy based on the fear-induced, reality that was created with COVID and lockdowns and, border closures and viruses and death. What can we do?
And the panic attacks that happen, like someone can be perfectly normal now, and the next second they're like having a panic attack, they can't breathe, and like whoa.
Yeah, I would say, when I first started this work, I was really focused on belief systems. That was my thing for myself before I started working with clients. And I realized that, everything seemed to come back to a belief system, or it could be a memory, but beliefs are kind of mixed in with memory, right? So if you have a belief system, for example, with the way the world is right now, something's going to happen to you, then you can create that reality. So the anxiety and the depression and the stuff that I work on goes back to that same place that I would do, say, with the body, because it's all going back to the one and same place, which is our emotions, right? And so that's really the good news. I mean, if you go to a doctor or a therapist, they might try to say that there's a complication, with our minds and our body, like things are really complicated, And so I just discovered that it wasn't really that complicated. It was our emotions. It was our thoughts, So someone might think, okay, like I have this view of the world situation right now, and I'm allowed to have that view. Okay, that's fine. You're entitled to that, but they're not understanding the implications of that. What does that mean for them, right? So you can have a thought, and you can have a belief system, but is it empowering you or is it disempowering you, right? I wouldn't say it's good or bad, right or wrong. I always come from the perspective that it's not just about positive thinking. I mean, we would have to admit that maybe we feel a certain way, and that's fine, right? Because we want to express ourselves, like, okay, I feel this way about this situation, but it's like, how are you going to transform that, But if you think that it's okay to have that belief system that's negative and it's not going to impact you, then that might be the disconnect. So that's just why I try to help people make the connection. So in a recent case where somebody, had a lot of chest problems, they had a lot of anxiety, they thought it was just strictly physical. They didn't see the connection. They went for a lot of body scans with the doctors and stuff, couldn't find anything, which is something I hear every day. So when I really broke it down, they were on all these diets and eating special foods, and all of that is fine, but it wasn't making a difference, right? So they kind of got distracted, by this other conversation, So I think if we can bring it back to the conversation about thoughts, like this person was so diligent with their eating. So imagine if you just spent this, half the time just monitoring your thoughts. What would that look like?
I like that. What if, like you look at your thought, is it bringing you down or is it uplifting you? And you're entitled to have it at that moment, but how long do you hold on to it? So I like that. Yes. Instead of looking at the food that you're consuming, how long at the thoughts that you let in and out.
It's
Yeah,
not
like
the
she wouldn't
donut.
even-
It's what you're thinking about the donut.
Susan's like, did you say donut?
Yep.
But you can imagine, like, somebody thinks, okay, it's bad for me to eat that cheeseburger. Okay, so that's fair, right? But they saying I'm stupid, dumb, I'm an idiot.
Ha.
They don't think much of that,
Right.
So that's something to think about. The burger actually might be less worse. I would say definitely less worse, because the thought form creates something much more inside the body, that people don't realize.
So you're cutting me some slack on the donut thing. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, just eat away with a smile on your face.
Yeah.
I
You
have
eat
an
donuts
awareness
like
on
it's broccoli,
donuts. I'll
so
share
it's
early or later if you want.
Yeah.
It's
What do
kind
you
of
know?
fun.
What do you know about donuts that we don't know? That if we knew, the cage choose and institute different reality with our body.
So I was watching this series on Gaia, and the person who was speaking was talking about a lot of stuff from South Africa, and he had found these stones that they called toric stones.
Mm.
They look like a donut.
Oh, Michael Tellinger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? And he took one on the airplane, and it, I guess, destroyed the whole TA systems, whatever security, and they stopped the plane and wouldn't let it fly. And he unwrapped it, and they're like, it's just a rock.
Wow.
And they're very powerful. And the funny thing that popped in, I was like, oh, that's the thing with the donut. It's the energy of the donut, kind of like, and what it represents. Right?
Freud. Yeah.
Yes. I'm like, no wonder they're awesome. See, so it's just good energy. It's not a donut.
Just see the connection. Looks like Susan wants a donut.
We're going there. We're going there. You guys are going there.
there.
You're taking me there. You're taking me there. I could use a donut. Yeah. Some days more, some days less. Most of the days more. Less of the days less.
I think we do have to be careful of our nutrition, though. And when people think of nutrition, they think of food right away. And then, Gavin was making the point that what we take on, even media-wise, can create thought forms. And I was thinking, we do find out through this work that we're all creators. We're creative beings. And that a lot of us are on the path to being conscious creators. And that's different from a society at large that is an unconscious creator. And that media going out there to an unconscious creator can just echo into our consciousness and start manifesting these things like waves of illness or, racial tension and strife, because we're so powerful at creating. But if we're not conscious of our thoughts and our emotion and that energy, it still builds, it still attracts, it still goes out there and has an effect on people. So we do need to do our best to share that consciousness aspect of the creators that we all are.
Yeah. So, Gavin, I wanted to bring this up to you. So check this, right?
Check this.
So when 9/11 happened, right? And the entire world, like the whole planet, went into a sadness, mourning, loss, regret, guilt, blame, that kind of a state, into that. Well, it actually affected the world computers. And it was documented that when that, are you one-upping me?
I'm trying to.
Don't mess with the host.
I'm gonna get her a donut.
That it was detectable by the computers. The computers, something happened. When we were all in that space together, the whole planet. So what I got when I was in there was the AI computers. The AI now knows that we, humanity, have the power, potency, and possibility to eradicate it. And it has started, ever since that point moving forward, for it to exist, there has to be judgment and hatred and separation and polarity. So you look at the powers that be that are invested in the AI program and benefit from it. You know, what if like just with this little piece of information, just with knowing that scientifically this was proven that we as humanity, you know, collectively created a skip or something, we were able to influence the computer, right? Like,
so when you say computer, this is the resonance thing that you posted the other day?
no, the resonance thing is the heartbeat, is the Schumann resonance of the planet.
Okay, so that's something different. Okay.
Yeah, no, this is like technology, computers, and you're a computer person.
Yes.
And you talk a lot about pulling stuff out and using the computer and defragging and eliminating like a virus and stuff like that. That's in our mind, that's in our brain, that's in our belief system. So, you know, knowing this, right, that this was scientifically, like, how does this impact what you do?
Well, I think, you know, the first thing that comes to mind is what I see a lot of people kind of like a computer system, they're overloaded, they're maxed out. You know, the system is shutting down and crashing. You know, right? So I would say, 9/11, the computer would have been overloaded. You know, when you have a lot of that thought form going on. So when you have a neutral thought or positive thought, you could call it, it's just there, right? But when you have a negative charge, you know, attached to a belief or a memory, then you have a much stronger like frequency that's kind of it's prickly, you know, and it can be stuck in the body, it can be stuck in the aura, you know, different places, right? So if you get too many of those, basically you run out of storage, you run out of space, right? So your hard drive gets overloaded.
But that's not bandwidth, that's something else.
You know, it could be related to bandwidth, because what's going to happen is if you keep putting more things into the computer system, like more stimulus, more thoughts, and it's already overloaded, it's kind of like the highway. You know, if it's down to one lane, you know, you put more traffic there, it's going to get, you know, it's going to get backlogged, right? So on a highway system, it's not, you know, it's annoying, but it's not that big of a deal. The cars back up and then they kind of filter through when they can. But in a brain, it's not like you can really stop the information, you know. So it's going to try to keep pushing through. And when the system's overloaded, it's going to crash. So you can have loss of motor functions. You can be falling asleep. You can be, you know, lethargic. You could be in extreme pain. You know, I noticed a lot of people right here, the brain stem, it's basically inflamed, and basically there's too much information coming across the brain stem, and they're overloaded, and there are all sorts of symptoms, right? You know, so that's when it starts to affect the organs and stuff. Because if you don't have enough resources, you know, to really manage all the functions of, like, you know, daily tasks, driving, you know, organ function, you know, heartbeat, all that stuff, you know, the body has to start to prioritize, you know. What am I going to prioritize, right?
So can I throw like one of the, and if you're watching right now, you know, absolutely in the comments, like, put your name in if you'd like Gavin to do, you do like a scan, or you do like Superman and you like go.
Yeah, I do it just like that, actually.
Because you said brainstem and you said like the neck. Ashni, what do you think, Ashni?
Yep. I think that's where the problem is. Yeah, it gets like.
She's like, you had me at brainstem.
So yes, like she has this whole thing where like we go to a brainstem specialist, Gavin, and she has her like sitting up against the wall with her head. She has like neck braces adjusted, like her atlas. Yeah. So being the medical intuitive that you are. I wish I could pull her picture up to be larger for you, but I can't. Does she have an intuitive problem?
Yeah, do it.
I don't know. So, Ashni, would you like to see what's going on with your neck?
Sure, Gavin.
You can say no. No pressure.
Go for it.
I'm going to be moving on to Derek or Janie, so either of them will be in the hot seat next. I don't know. Ashni, yes, no, yes, no.
What do you need? Do you need to see my eye?
I don't know.
Yes, because he needs to Superman them.
That's helpful. Yes.
I'll help you. I'll help you.
Is it helpful for distracting or for you to get an awareness?
You're not helping Gavin.
Gavin is tuning in. Wait, I'm opening up.
Okay, awesome. What's your symptoms?
Say that again.
What's your symptoms?
Oh, I will just have like shoots on the left side in my wrist, on my left wrist. It will start shooting, and that's when I know it's out of alignment because I've been going to her for since when? I think since March for some time. And at one point I wasn't able to even keep this, like keep my neck, just sit. I could not. It was just like ugh. And of course it causes a lot of headaches and all of that, but it's also an injury that I have had. I actually had a physical injury, and then I had an emotional injury, and then all of stuff. So I know when it's out of alignment because I get all these shoots. It starts in my like almost like if someone has arthritis and then it just like shoots, but with me it's something different where it just goes the whole way, all the way in, and that's it.
Got it. Okay, so the first thing that came up just when you started talking about it was the word resentment. So there's some kind of resentment happening, and it pertains to some kind of situation or situations, where you feel like the perception of the situation is being wronged for something, or being taken advantage of, kind of in that category. So there's a lot of information, again, that's flowing right across the brainstem that's having you really, in that state. And so I just have to help you release that emotion and help you feel like, the resentment that you feel, is something that happened in your past, but, it's time to let go and you can release it. Obviously you didn't know that it was the resentment. Does that make sense?
It does, yes.
Okay. So feeling wronged for something, that's the biggest thing I see. So the question you have to ask yourself, I think, thank you. I think, I think it's accepting that, yes, something did happen. I never want to say to somebody, oh, it's just your imagination or you just made something up. No, something really happened, and you felt a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
Then you can kind of start looking at it like, okay, well, I took that on, your brain stem and your arm is saying something to you. So it's like, thank you for showing up, right? It's sending you a strong message, right? Right. And then it's kind of like, okay, I'm ready to let that go because, it's not serving me anymore, And so when you can just like zero in on something like that, because the problem is that if I just did like general, energy work on you or some kind of random clearing, it might not solve the issue because we have to get to that part of the brain and we have to look and see, okay, it's resentment. That's the emotion, that's the frequency, and then look in our past and say, okay, yeah, I got that, and now that we know that that's what it is, that kind of helps you, and I can, let's release that. What do you think?
That is a confirmation of all of what you just said. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Spot on.
And here is the thing. Yes.
Are you gonna do a butt?
I am not ready for it to get released. And I know that. And I know that. And I am like, Susan will be like, come on, it's so long, come on. Like, and I'm like, no, I'm holding on to it and I'm holding it.
But remember, you're entitled to that, right? You're allowed to do that.
Yes.
As long as you know what's happening,
Yes. Yeah.
Because, but what I would say is, it feels like it's like if you let go of the resentment, then you are like letting this person or the situation off the hook,
Yeah.
So which is not really true. in the world of truth. You know, that's
Yeah.
just a story, right? But it's like, yeah, I got to hold on to the resentment because it validates why you're upset.
Yes. There we go. Thank you. Yes, you get it.
Yeah.
But no, because it's not serving me, it's really not serving me in the bigger sense of me being kind and nice and showing up completely. I actually am taking the steps to delete and delete and delete and delete. So I
You
can't
really don't
show.
want to.
Yes.
But that's okay, you know.
Yeah. She has the glasses with like the little peekholes. She goes, I see you, limitation. I see you. You're still there. It's okay because you're choosing it, and then until you don't choose it anymore, right? And then it's gone. So Vanessa, hello, beautiful. Moodley, she is watching with you, Gavin. She looks like she's cold. Look at her picture. Looks like you've got snow on you, honey. That's definitely a hoodie or a zip up. Yeah. And something underneath. Holy cow. She would like to know how do you release or ease the inflammation on the nape? The nape? Nape.
The nape of the neck.
I wish we had a nap, but we're going to have a nape right now. The nape of the neck.
First thing that's coming up for Vanessa is
2 days in a row for her.
2 days in a row. Okay. It's like protection, the word protection. So not feeling protected, not feeling safe. So basically the neck is a representation of like being flexible, right? So being able to move from side to side. And so the inflexibility right now is caused by the feeling of not, being protected. Could be present situation in the world. And so when you feel that way, which again is a valid thought, it's like your neck kind of freezes. It's like rigid. It's like can't move it. And you don't want to be flexible because you don't feel safe, So you're going to kind of stay in your place and not move.
Gavin, does she do what like go? Is it that? You know how we talked about that before when somebody goes.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely. I mean, it feels like there's been times when that's happened. Yeah, right. So that can kind of lock the neck in place too, right? Mm-hmm. So the neck is it's about like if you think of a camera on a tripod, like pivoting, right? So in life, we want to just be like flow, want to go back and forth. Yeah, there you go. Look how flow that is. It's like dancer flow.
Whole dancer flow.
Wow, wasn't going.
Gavin wasn't going there.
Ask Gavin too.
Bright shiny thing, distracting. Back to Vanessa.
Okay, there you go. Focus. So yeah, it's about the flexibility. So let's release that.
So Vanessa, as Gavin's doing that with you, like, does that resonate with you? Not feeling safe in the body, not feeling safe in her space. I got you, girl. It took me 16 days to come out. My mom's water broke, and I took 16 more days before I showed up. So I know a little bit about not being safe. So while she's answering us, we've got some people who want to say hello to you, Gavin, and the High Vibe Tribe. Hello, Lynn.
Hi.
Hi, beautiful. Glad you're here with us. And beautiful Suki.
Suki.
Hi, honey. Suki is from England. And I believe Lynn is from South Africa. So we are all around the world with this as well. Yeah. So Suki or Lynn, if you have anything that you would like Gavin to, hone in on. I feel like he's like a drone.
Yeah.
His energy. Like his, right?
Can
like
I ask him as we wait?
Yeah. Go ahead, Derek.
Okay. I've had some injuries in the past, but for a while, decades, I've had horrible headaches. Feels like someone's driving their thumb into my skull right above my eyeball. And also been told I have precursors to an autoimmune disease, and I have numb spots on the bottoms of my feet. They don't seem to be growing anymore, but they're definitely there. I can feel them in my toes. I wanted to see if you had anything that might be showing up for you there.
Okay, let me check here. Feels like, I mean, the first thing I see is it's like ungrounded. So like not being totally on planet Earth. Oh, does that make sense? Or?
Sure, yes.
Okay. No, your body doesn't like this, though.
There's speculation I'm not entirely human.
Okay, you're alien. All right.
Men in black glasses.
There you go.
There you go. That's just.
But I do get what you mean. Like I do make a conscious effort to try to ground myself, and I even go barefoot and go stand out on the earth, and I try to do these grounding exercises. But yeah, I definitely do feel ungrounded a lot, and not always in like a head in the clouds kind of way, but just that feeling of disconnect with being here, or in the state of this manifested 3D world. It's rough for me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I saw. Well, I didn't see the world, but that kind of makes sense. It's probably like the secondary thing. But first thing I saw was just like where you presently are. Does it feel like you really want to be there?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So where you live?
Well, I'm not where I live right now, and I'm anxious to get back home. Yeah, definitely. Yes.
Okay. So that's a secondary thing. And then, planet Earth, it's like overarching, right? But I would say this, like, the grounding thing, I mean, it's probably not going to work right now, because if you don't like where you are, right? So we just have to clear that, right? And it's kind of like getting you into a neutral state so you can just be anywhere, right? And so when you're living in the 3D reality, I feel like sometimes when we kind of go into the outer worlds, as spiritual people, as people who are connected to this 4 and 5D realities and stuff like that, we have trouble coexisting in 3D, right? But I mean, that's our reality, right? So how are we going to do that? So we have to neutralize these emotions that prevent us from fully grounding, and then in your case, neutralize the emotions that are surrounding, just where you are right now, because you're exactly where you're supposed to be,
Right. Yeah, I understand.
Right. But, and I know that that consciously, but on a subconscious level, it's kind of like rearing its ugly head. It's like, I don't like it.
Yeah, it's grinding gears in there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So your feet are a representation of that. And then there's causing like a lot of blockages up in the brain area. And then, when you're not in your body doesn't like that, so your body's kind of rebelling against you, right? So you got to get back in your body, and you got to reground, neutralize all these emotions, and then feel like you are here for a reason, purpose. You have to be in the 3D, because if you're not, then how are you going to, help the human race, right?
No, I got you. I know we play in the sandbox like that, and yeah. I appreciate that, and thank you for acknowledging the dimensionality of things. And yeah, you absolutely hit the nail on the head with the present situation and the backdrop too. Appreciate. Thank you so much. I'm grateful.
No, I'll do the process now and just kind of reground you, see how you're feeling. Let me know. Okay. Awesome.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you, Gavin, so
My
much.
pleasure.
So we have some feedback from Vanessa. So she says, yes, she definitely thinks so. Flexibility, probably the reason. She's homebound right now, but working from a home base. Restrictions, definitely. I went ahead and asked her about childhood or early adulthood, and she said absolutely childhood trauma, and her parents were separated. Like, I could feel that. So yeah, is there a process or a tuning fork for her frequency, or like, how does the tuning fork sort of, like, is it a chakra tuning fork?
Yeah, like sometimes I find it's 741 frequency. It clears a lot of the negative memories, very quickly, right? So, when somebody goes through a childhood separation, it's kind of like, their world kind of gets rocked, shaken up, right?
Yeah.
And so they don't really want to be flexible because the last time things were uncertain, it didn't go so well, or, it was traumatic, right? So the uncertainty of things right now, like restrictions, homebound, what's going to happen, uncertainty in the world, it's kind of like uncertainty when, her parents split up, right? So you have restriction, and then you have restriction in the neck, so let's clear that.
Yeah. Vanessa, stay with us, because we're all, like, I know Janie's galactic coding all of us. Ashley, she's got her meditative support system that's operating. Derek has all of his
unleash my inner shaman.
Galactic friends and his shaman roots contributing to the process, to what Gavin is doing. So, like, how powerful is this, Gavin? I feel like you're like the core, and we're like quantum magnifying like everything that you're creating.
It's very powerful right now. It's amazing.
Yeah. So, wow. Incredible.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Yes.
She should still, a couple minutes, she should feel, less restriction.
Awesome. So stay with us, Vanessa. Keep us posted on that and how it's working. And Suki, let us know if there's something that we can support you with. And Lynn and Tammy White, Manushka, also let us know what's happening with all of you. Pop it in the comments. Anyone else who's watching from all around the world, we've been popping you out there, Gavin, while the show's been on.
Nice.
To all these different groups. So like, you're landing in their reality right now, and they're like, oh, hey, check out those amazing men. Look at that divine masculine, because that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the three women that are here at all. It's check out those guys. They're like locked in the borders. Like, you guys are the upper corner and the lower corner. Like, we're playing tic-tac-toe. Like, 1, 2, 3. I win.
It's like men tic-tac-toe.
Yeah, I feel like that's interesting. I feel like you guys are like the brackets. Do you know what I mean? Like, actually,
there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the whole.
There you go. Yeah.
The whole backwards thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right. I feel like you guys, you are there. Like, do you guys get that? Can you get what I'm saying? Yeah.
I see the balance.
They got us.
No, but I also get, look at them. Look at Derek. His shiny glow is there. And then look at Gavin. They're like this. They have this shiny object.
They polish it every day.
Well, what's interesting? It's like, okay, this could be backwards. Like, you're
still shiny. There you go.
It's like Derek's left and Gavin's right. It's like it's reversed, like opposites. So you guys make a whole man or something else.
A mega person.
Yeah. Right? So, Gavin, are you ready to do some more?
Sure.
Okay.
How you feeling, Derek?
I feel very nice right now. I'm very much at peace, and
you're coming back into your body.
Yeah, like a lot of us were saying when we were first starting, it had been a different day altogether too. But this is the most at peace I've felt. I feel very calm and centered right now. I'm quite. It's a pleasant feeling. It's nice to be here. Nice to be here again.
Awesome. Welcome back.
Welcome.
Thank you.
How's your vision? Is it clearer?
My vision's nice, and it's almost like those weighted blankets that have the glass beads sewn into them that make you feel so nice. It's like that kind of nice feeling, or maybe the vest you put on your little dog when there's thunder.
You know.
I feel
Yeah.
Like he wants to snuggle with his pillow.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Hello.
now he's good.
now I'm good.
Yep.
It's donuts for me. It's pillows for Derek. You know, we all got our crutch, right? We all got
Yep.
our
Donuts and pillows. That's awesome.
I have a question.
yeah.
So, what happens when you used everything in your toolbox and the information, like you know where it's coming from,
Mhm.
and it's like there's no filter. It just keeps popping in.
That's a good question. I mean, like you're saying, if it doesn't clear off.
Mm-hmm. And then you think it's gone, and you lay down in bed to go to sleep at night, and then it's like, pink, here I am again. No sleep for you.
Probably just not getting it all, because everything is in layers, and some things are connected to more than one incident, more than one belief or memory. Could have thousands of memories just for one situation, right? So you might have gotten some of it, and not the rest of it, or not all of it. And it's like 1% of poison is still poison. So sometimes even going up to like 99% clear, the 1% could be the worst. So I would say, in my experience, it's just not fully resolved. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be that somebody's not ready to fully let go, release. So there's still some, there's some,
Well, I would like to. I would like to sleep at night.
So that's the issue.
I would actually like the whole situation to just go away and normalcy to come back of some sort. I mean, there's no normal, but
so the issue is sleep.
that's a part of it. And then, so the situation has caused a lot of ongoing stress, and it's not new. It's been going on since 2013. But now it's amplified because I started standing up for myself and changed things. And so then now I'm going against the I'm running headfirst into the wall of dark forces, for lack of better words.
Okay.
But they are actual people.
Right.
So
Dark people.
I mean, they walk around with 2 legs, so maybe they're not people. I don't know.
They're in a human suit.
Yes.
Yes.
Narcissistic, psychopathic tendencies. Let's just call it what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're in that situation, is what you're saying.
I am. Yes.
So it's an environmental thing. I mean, that could just be being reinserted into the same situation daily. Would just cause the problem to, resurface daily. So I don't know if a clearing would change that unless you change the environment, right? I'm not suggesting that you do that, but it's kind of like, if you're in the same environment. I mean, are you feeling like you're attracting the same thing over and over again? Or?
Well, it's almost like the information that comes in. So every time I get information, then like there's a confirmation of it, whether it comes from a message or an email or
Janie.
Yes.
Just lay it out there, honey, and stop running around.
Stop beating around the bush, Janie. Beating around the bush.
Well, I didn't want to involve too much of my personal crap. Okay, I'll stop it. So like my ex has my kids. And I will be sound asleep at night, and all of a sudden they'll pop in, blah, 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 and I'm awake. And then, okay, and so I acknowledge, so I know, like, that's okay, that's my kids. But then there's other times where, like, I'm sound asleep and conversations start in my head, like I'm having a conversation with a judge or with my ex, and then sometimes it's an argument, sometimes it's information, And it's weird because it's not, I don't know how else to say this, but I don't feel like I'm calling it in unless I was doing something while I was sleeping that I was unconscious about.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like information, or I don't know.
So when you say they pop in, like they just like subconsciously or like consciously, I should say, they come into your mind. Is that what you mean when you
yeah, it's like so I'm like hearing the conversation, I'm either picking up on something, or and actually what it's doing is I feel like my ability for all the abilities I have gets snuffed out by that. Like that comes in and wants to like just smash everything else.
You know what? I mean, I'll just, if you're okay with me just laying it out on the line here,
yes.
Exactly what I see is my personal tune in. I would say it doesn't feel like it's them. You know, it's some kind of entity related, you know, kind of interference that's coming in, and it's waking you up, obviously. And the voice, you know, it's going to sound like them or that situation, but I don't see that it's them, right? You know, right? So we need to clear that, you know. Feels like some kind of entity attachment, you know, maybe some past experiences that brought that in. Not saying that you're consciously doing that, right? But there's like a possession going on. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's clear that.
That eyebrow went up.
Because sometimes when we dabble in certain things, sometimes we can get attached to things, certain energies, right? So we want to just like cut all the cords, you know, cut all the attachments, the contracts, all that stuff to that kind of energy, right? Because when we start hearing voices, it's like they could sound like somebody's voice that we know, but it's not really, you know, in my experience. Does that make sense? You know, and so that would definitely wake you up. Yeah. And it will also suppress your abilities. It'll block you from your truth. It'll block you from all sorts of, you know, innate gifts, you know, connections with the divine, everything.
Gavin,
yeah, because
one or more. Oh, sorry, Jamie.
Because that, so when I left that situation and moved, you know, states away, my abilities did come in. Like, I mean, they were in before, but then they came in like a lot. But the last 2 years, it's like almost silent, which is, it's not helpful for what I do. It doesn't help at all. But what's weird is, you know, quite a few of those conversations that I hear, well, like the very first one, when I was served with court papers, 98% of that information was in that court document.
Right. So do you? I guess the question is, do you want to have that experience?
No, I would like to use my abilities somewhere else.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So it's like I could read the court document and not be woken up, you know, in the middle of the night with the information about it, right? I mean, because some of these beings are very intelligent and they have that information. They can give it to you. Do you want it in that format? I don't like.
No.
Thanks. Right.
Yeah.
You know, right. So let's just, you know, cut all the cords to that so that you don't have that experience.
Yeah. No, thank you. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. All right. And you know what? I think me and Susan, we've had this conversation about, you know, the whole sleep thing, the different realms, you know, connecting to these different, I guess you could call it like different realms. Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. So sometimes we can get attached to these energies, right? So we're sovereign beings, you know. We have the power to let go and release that. Nobody has command over you. You know, so it's not a difficult thing to clear, and it's like love and light, and we send their regards to them. But the eviction notices are being sent out right now. Let's do that.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Adios, chicas. I was gonna say before when Jay was talking, I'm like, I actually get like more than Uno.
But yeah, because I'm actually
That's a lot.
Yes.
so
there's a
with
lot.
with the remember Susan, we did the Nights of Light thing.
Yes.
I am completely like, I'm not afraid to go there because that is things that has to be addressed too, as well as like, oh, look, there's fairies. There's also the opposite of that too.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is there something else required here?
No, that felt big right there.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's powerful.
Thank you, Janie.
Come on, like,
Yeah,
am I clearing it for everybody else too?
Yeah, that rippled.
Yep.
It was dominoes.
Yeah.
Launching them dominoes out the table, my friend. Knocking them down.
Done.
One of these days we should all build like those card castles, like in front of our family, and then we'll pull like the bottom one out. Gavin, you'll have to come back for that, Gavin.
Oh yeah.
To be a part of our card. Our card.
So Gavin, how did this start for you? How did you, your kind of your humble beginnings with medical intuition? How did it all kind of fall into place?
Well, I was a computer tech in Toronto, and I ended up quitting my job in 2014. I went to California, and I studied with these intuitives that really taught me how to access the subconscious, belief systems. So they were just working with belief systems predominantly, right? So then I just started to expand past that, and I started to realize that it's like, whoa, I see belief systems in the organs. I see belief systems in the brain and the chest, all these things. So I started realizing that there was a bigger, picture there. So I guess you could say I had intuition, which kind of led me to California in the first place, but I didn't really know how to develop it. It was kind of it was like haphazard, random, just getting messages out of the blue. It was like, what is that? And so they really helped me to develop it. Like it was like on demand. Intuition,
Nice.
Yeah, just exactly. Instead of just hitting me or I didn't even. I mean, I was not. My parents would say I was just saying like weird stuff all the time when I was a little kid. Right? So probably there was something coming in there, but I didn't know what it was. Right? I would get a call. I was on a level 2 support. I would get a call about a computer issue, right? And I would just say, oh, well, it's this or that, and they're like, how did you know that? It was intuition. I had this one lady where she was on her phone, she was talking, but she couldn't hear anything. It was all muffled. And I just said, oh, maybe you have the plastic still on from when you took it out of the box. And it happened to be the case, right? So people thought this was kind of weird, uncanny, but I didn't think much of it, And then when I really started to realize, oh, there's something there. So then I needed to develop it. So I went like extensive training, about 2 years, of training myself. And I would just basically sit myself in front of the phone. I would call people and I would just kind of sweat bullets, because I didn't know. And I would just sit there and they would tell me their problem and I would just read what I saw. And people were like, holy crap, And so then I started to realize this is actually working. So I had to kind of put myself through that extreme, situation to help me really realize that this was what I was meant to do, So it was a really cool experience.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing.
So
no problem.
This is the king's crown now. I'm wearing it for the king, King Gavin. So Gavin, when you say like you just get like, do you hear it? Do you see it? Can you smell it? Taste it? Like, do you get it? Is it all at once? Like, how does your body?
I just see the word. It's like a LCD screen in my mind, and I just see the word resentment.
Are you being funny, or is that really the truth?
Oh, it's really what happens.
You have a like for rent sale vacancy. Like I open, you know,
yeah. Like when I look at you, I just see the word donut all the time.
Of course you do. I am a donut. Really?
I mean,
is that really what it's like? It's like vacancy, open, closed.
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, that's one way to put it. Like when I went to California and I was developing the skill, people that were in the course, they would get like maybe like a feeling or a vision. Some people would see symbols. Yeah. Some people would see images. I just saw words, and some of the people there who were training me, they thought that was kind of unique, and I thought it was always really efficient. Because if I could just see the words, I don't have if I see a picture, I don't have to decipher it. That's a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
If I see the word, I can just with Derek, it was like grounding, so I can do a rapid fire, right? So I think it's different for everybody. I have tried to train people on the whole words thing, and not everybody's intuition shows up that way. So that's just how it goes, I guess.
Do you ever run it through spell check before you say it?
There's no time. You got to read it when it pops up.
I kind of feel like it's the what do they call it? Like suggestive text.
Yeah.
Like blah blah. Oh, there you go. Transparent.
Autofill.
Yeah. Autofill.
I love that. I should upgrade.
We're not making fun of
No, of course not.
Or Gavin. Yeah, neither of you know, right? So how cool is this?
It's really cool. Yeah, I mean, it's something that you have to get into a place where you can really just trust your own information. And sometimes information comes through and people it doesn't really make sense to them. And so you just have to go with it, that there's a message there, and there's something behind that, so yeah. It's pretty cool.
So let's check in with everybody. How's everybody doing? Vanessa, honey, if you're still with us, pop in the comments and let us know. She said that she was also having that.
Yeah.
Post-COVID as well, like the trauma and, not being flexible. And let's see, we have a brand new person. Hello. Pleased to be here, Facebook user. We're so glad you're here too. Do you have something that you'd like to ask Gavin about your problems, issues, challenges, physical, mental, emotional? Yeah, that right there, that thing you're kind of trying to run around.
Kind of like I did a very good example of that.
You did. She lived for a little while, and then Ashley was just full stop.
Yeah.
Full stop, Janie. Suki's back with us. Hello, beautiful. Yeah, Suki is an intuitive medium as well. She has a galactic party. I don't know, Suki, and she's an artist, and so she
sketches. Yeah.
Yes. What did you say, Ashley?
Sketches. She sketched. She gets messages, and then she sketched, and then
So she draws them when she gets with them. So we have a Facebook user who has extreme anxiety, Gavin, and this person may or may not like to share their name with us, which is fine. Is it something that you require? Is their name?
No, I can tune into that. That's fine.
Okay. All right, cool. So Facebook user number 1.
This is interesting. It's feels like more energy systems are sort of weakened, right? So it's more like a nutrient thing. So absorption, nutrients, accepting the flow of life, right? So the body is actually in anxiety because it's lacking resources, like nutrients, food, sustenance. I saw the word fasting, so I don't know if that's related to anything. Not that fasting is bad. It's just that your body feels weak and feeling like depleted and not assimilating your nutrients, your minerals. So the body is not assimilating life. Life is difficult, hard, challenging. So everything kind of flowing through the consciousness is basically not accepting life as it is. So sometimes when we do this, we don't assimilate our nutrients. So, our digestion is a representation of our emotional state, right? It's like you have to take your food in, you have to eat it, and then your stomach has to extract the nutrients, right? But if you don't assimilate life, then you don't assimilate the nutrients from the stomach, essentially, right? So it feels like the body is depleted. Does that make sense? So the anxiety, can be healed by allowing life to flow just as it is, and then getting the body built up so that it can reabsorb nutrients, and you might need things like protein and certain foods to kind of build that up, faster, if you want something like that. Okay. So
this is when it's spinning the Google thing. This is the Google thing.
So let's release that.
It felt like her energy felt like it was spinning. Kim, I love you, honey. Do you get that? Yeah. So she said, yes, she's intermittent fasting. Yeah. Spot on, Gavin. Woohoo.
Cool. Yeah. So one of the things about intermittent fasting is it's a common trend right now. I would never give people advice one way or the other, but you have to really take care of yourself. And some people like let's say intermittent fasting concept gets put out to 1 million people, right? Just as an example, right? It doesn't mean that everyone in that group of 1 million people is going to be okay with intermittent fasting, right? It could be good for some people, and it feels like it could be good for you in the future, but we have to fix your digestion, get you reassimilating, and then simulating life and nutrients, get your strength up, get your body working, and then you can go back to fasting, if you really want to. So,
Gavin, nailing it.
need that nailed it thing.
I know. I'm gonna have to get that. I don't have enough props or toys to play with here. Not at all. No, I don't have enough. Kim, holy cow, right? So do you have a gong? Do you have a chime for her, Gavin?
Yes.
Intermittent fasting.
Feels like she needs some more love. Let's see.
Send her love. We can do that.
Yeah.
We can send her clouds of love.
Right. Open up that heart chakra.
Yep.
Nice. Cool. So one of the things that, the audience listening tonight is really, again, it's going back to our emotions, right? So when we're not assimilating life, how are we assimilating other things, right? So.
Yeah. Vanessa, right away. She
Awesome.
felt her neck shift with ease within minutes, the stiff and eased, and she's incredibly grateful.
Now things are flexible in her life,
And who would have thought, right? Like, who would have thought it could be that easy? Remember when I started way back at the beginning, of the show, like, what if it could be like, even, like, what did I know then that we now?
That's the thing. This whole thing is not complicated.
Right? Cool.
No, but our brains like to make it really super hard.
We were taught. Yeah. We were taught that if it was worth it, then it was worth fighting for, or if it was worth it was worth working hard for. And
you have to work really hard to get it.
Yeah, then it's worth it. Otherwise, it's not worth it, which means you're not worth it. Okay, clear that one for all of us, guys.
All right.
We're all like,
Yeah, get rid of that.
Did you see us? We all started going like this together. Yeah. I'm sure like it's nobody else, just the 5 of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, he didn't even buy that. He's like, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
It's not playing in my box.
Ding.
And you know, that's kind of funny because it's like, for me, that was especially like pounded in for the last like half of my life. And yet I didn't, you know, I knew that wasn't the truth. And I would go on and do my own thing and magic would happen. And then it was like, well, you did absolutely nothing because I didn't see you do anything. I'm like, whatever. But then somewhere, you know, it's like the breaking down of the system to where, you know, everything feels like it's raw and open. I think we were talking about that earlier. That at some point you kind of take it on because it's easier to do that than it is to be like, you know, whatever. I'm just going to create magic and know that it's possible rather than, you know, but yeah, so it's kind of funny because there's like a belief, but it's not a belief, if that makes sense.
Wait, what is that? It's a belief, but not a belief. It's like everything's the opposite of what it appears to be. It's the opposite of what it appears to be. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
What do we do with that, Gavin?
Oh, you have to drop some truth there.
I'm just handing all the stuff to you today.
Yeah, truth bomb us.
Well, you know, if we look back at the origination of anything, we're probably going to find some kind of thought form. So if it's not a belief, it's a creation of something. You know, everything got created with a thought. So, you know, sometimes it's hard to trace it all the way back. So one of the things that I really like to teach people is we don't have to go back to every little thing, you know, that ever happened to us. But if we think about the present moment, like, you know, working with some of the people on the chat tonight, it's like we're just dealing with the present moment, you know, what they're presently dealing with, you know, and then, you know, the subconscious is going to find everything that's interconnected with that. But I would say it's still a thought form that got created at some point, you know, to create that reality, right?
It may not even be ours, right, Gavin?
What's that?
Like it may not even be ours.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. We come into the world with stuff, you know. You're not a clean slate, you know.
And not many beliefs are true.
Yeah. It could be ancestors, you know, just belief systems from family members, you know, whatever, right? So, you know, it shapes our perception, right? And that's the most interesting thing I find about humans is that we have this thing where, you know, we have a reality that's based on a belief system, and then we could take that and create a perception of that. You know, the animal kingdom doesn't have that. So that's kind of our creation of, okay, like, you know, me and you go into the same situation and we could see it totally different, right? You know, so if I saw something as positive and you saw something as negative, you could take on that negativity based on a perception and create a whole reality around that, and that can make you sick. You know, so
is that what they call like the illusion?
Yeah, I mean, it technically is an illusion, but I feel like for so many people listening, they probably think their stuff is real. Yeah. So that's okay. You know.
Well, Vanessa, she thinks you're magical, Gavin.
Thank you, Vanessa. Appreciate that.
Cool. We know that you have a link for people to have some time to kind of consult with you. Is that true, Gavin?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So if you put it in the private chat, Ashni will pull it out for you and post it where everybody else can see it.
Okay.
If what we've been talking to you about like resonates with you, please share this in your groups with your friends. Tag your friends in the comments because we're here in service as the High Vibe Tribe to, everyone really around the world. It's like now is the time, today is the day.
That's right.
Yeah. So while you were talking, Gavin, and you had like this big long word, right? And I was like, is it like Twitter where like when you get the words, like does it run out of spaces and then it has like ... or something and you have to like try to like fill it all in? Like I'm really trying to get into this whole word receiving thing.
Which word did I use?
Like Twitter has like 120 characters. So like if you go beyond that, it's like
oh, she's talking about like your sign that you see the word on.
Yeah.
Do you get a word or is it a run-on sentence?
Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah, like usually it's just words. Yeah, it's very, it's very guy-like, put it that way. It's not a lot of words. It's just one word or a couple words.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Hulk smash.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then it's kind of like you can unravel. Like if you had one word like resentment, you still have to unravel the other aspects to that because it's too vague, But it's not run-on sentences, no.
It sounds like Groot.
Groot.
Yeah. Like, and then where do you go from here? It's like the center of the spider web.
Exactly.
And what else is possible? So cool. So anyone else that is watching, listening, playing with us, last minute, last call, pop your questions in or comments or statements. Much gratitude, Gavin, to you. Holy cow, blowing it up here in the High Vibe Tribe, like spot on, like 10 out of 10, 5 stars. Oh my goodness. Woo, woo, woo.
Appreciate you guys so much.
I love that. That man, is that a man shake?
Sure.
Yeah. So this is the woman, and then you guys do this.
Yeah. Like if we met in person, it would be like the bro hug. It's like, it's like shoulder to shoulder. It's like, yeah.
Oh, it's not like the fist bump.
Well, you could do that too. Yeah.
It's the hug equivalent of the fist bump.
Well,
it's not the forehead. Put the forehead to each other and like, no.
No,
I'm not one. That would hurt. Wow,
it's a lot of shine all together at once too.
Exactly. I don't want you to take some of my shine.
Oh,
I'll share mine.
You get your polishing cloth, like.
But I think I can see you now.
Yeah.
I can see you guys better now. Holy cow! Oh my goodness! Wow. So what else do we have on our list? Woohoo! Our special High Vibe Triber, Priscilla, is having a wellness lifestyle conference this month on Saturday, the 25th. Janie is a speaker in it. Janie, will you talk a little bit about it?
Sure.
I love putting you on the spot like this.
Well, and this is actually one of those really funny things that I'm just following the energy.
Mm-hmm. Well, we know all about that, don't we?
Yeah. So it's kind of like, would you like to do this? Yes. And then that was all the information that I got. I was like,
you didn't find the energy found you.
Yes, thank you. See, everything's the opposite.
Love it.
And so basically I'd asked her for a list of what I needed to do and she told me and I got it done. And then the date changed and I didn't even know that. So, but Priscilla puts until you said something, Susan, I was like, oh, well, I'll change my calendar then.
Is it going to be on the 25th, Janie? Just so you know, since you're a speaker.
Yes. I did get an email this morning too, so that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she does this really cool thing where it's once a month. And there's a lot of speakers and they're all healers and heart-centered, mediums and psychics and I mean all walks of. It's really cool. We met some really cool people on there that have actually been on the show.
Yes. I'm actually looking for my phone. You guys tell me where my phone is. Oh, here it is. Okay, thanks.
It's right there.
Got it. I love when you guys just give it to me. You just send it right to me. All righty. So
Yeah.
So there will be 20 new speaker videos that'll be released. And then they have live events the whole day. 9 a.m. there's an Om chant live gathering. At 10 a.m. there's a chakra imbalance affecting on your health. So there'll be a rebalancing. Sharon McNeil, who was on our show, and she was also part of our NDE program.
Mm-hmm.
There will be a psychic talk. There is a guided meditation, and then there is a divine global round table. So you will definitely all have a super fun day on the 26th.
What time zone is that in, Susan?
South Africa?
Yeah.
So it's like
10 or 11 hour time, right? EST.
Well, 10 our time, EST is 5 p.m. their time. So it'll be like really early morning, or you could catch the replays.
Yeah.
You know, all the above. This and that, and then something
A, B, C, D, and E, and all of the above.
Exactly. So Ashley, are you feeling like now is the time?
Yeah, actually, you saw that, didn't you? You picked up on it. Yeah, I just checked into the global, like into space.
She looks lighter, doesn't she?
What?
She looks lighter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm sitting in front of the light. The light is. But yes.
Wait, let me check.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it's better now.
Yeah, I just went in and I was like, okay, we're coming to the end of the program now. Let's get all of the good vibes that we kind of like accumulated and sent it out to each and everyone, even the one who have departed the universe. You know, they left their body, so they say that again.
I said the body.
Yeah, they left their body here, so they have like gone to the other dimension. Even to them, let's just like send that, because I'm sure it must be jarring, and it's a new platform where they probably don't even know where they are. So to the living, and then the one living in bodies and the one living without bodies, and each and every energy out there, just sending them good vibes and love and healing. Oh,
Are you looping?
nope. Done.
Can Gavin confirm it?
So it's moving out. It's in process.
Yeah.
Where it wasn't before, so that's good.
It was a full stop before. Nice. Wow. Let's see what our chat room is chatting with us. Vanessa says definitely unique talents and gifts within the team from all of us. Oh yeah, thank you, Vanessa. Holy cow. Yeah, it's interesting how we all arrived here. You know, when you think about it. Yeah, okay, then that's good. I love when we all have like nothing to say. There's like that.
We were in agreement with what you said.
It's so crazy fun, but it's kind of like we're all silent, but we're all saying a million things. Like we're all telepathically.
Oh yeah, don't think I'm not saying a million things.
But we just start laughing, right? Because we all get it. We all get each other. Yeah. Well, I promise we would definitely have no fun at all on the High Vibe Tribe. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is not the place for that.
Again. Oh, Gavin, what should we leave with? What do you have for us that we can choose something else? What can we take with us? What wisdom, advice, guidance, contribution, tuning fork?
I guess the final thought is just about our thoughts, paying attention to them more, being aware of them, so when we're eating our food at night or we are driving in the car, whatever we're doing, what are our thoughts, and how are we perceiving what's around us, and if we start becoming more conscious to that, then we can really shift our reality in a really huge way.
Nice. So, individually and
collectively. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Did you mean collectively?
Both, yeah.
I know you guys both said it at the same time. It was like, because I have my earphones in, so it's like stereo. I'm like, ooh. Collectively it is. I'm like, all right, then. Yeah, I get it.
I was watching what he was talking about. So I was like, yeah.
Yeah, you're not empathic at all whatsoever.
No.
None of you. No,
that's just you, Susan.
Exactly. So I am the Earth Empress. Woohoo!
Good name.
Thanks. I'm gonna get my crown on. So we, as the people of the High Vibe Tribe, in order to form a conscious union, establish awareness, ensure a higher vibrational frequency, provide necessary questions to promote the infinite welfare of the people, for the people, and with the people by securing the truths for Mother Earth, as well as ordain and establish this constitution for the people, the pets, the plants, and our planet with a plan, as we are in service to all. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us.
And Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Gavin.
Holy cow. Gavin. This was nice. This was fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. You guys are like still doing the parentheses around the lady.
It's our hug.
Yes. Love you all. Love you. I think we've got some people that are shouting out. Woo! Vanessa, honey, thank you. Woo! Love it. We're all about conscious conversations about what matters most to you. Until we get to see you next Friday. Ciao for now, everybody. Bye.
Hey guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Check out Gavin's link. Book some time with him. He will blow up your universe.